think, act, and prosper. You are now tuned into the Money Level Show.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Money Level Show where we think, act, and prosper. Sorry it's been so long since I've dropped some new material, but I want to make sure that I keep pumping these videos out because the markets is crazy right now. Everything's going crazy. Central banks are going crazy and everything. So I want to make sure I keep you all updated on the macro and the micro outlook going forward on these markets and everything. So I want to get into this today. So today I'm going to look at a video. We're going to watch this together, but this video is of Gary Gensler. So if you do not know who Gary Gensler is, Gary Gensler was a former teacher at MIT. You may see him on YouTube teaching about blockchain and cryptocurrencies and everything. And so he was that professor that did that. And those videos actually got millions of views. So Gary Gensler is actually now the chairman of the SEC, which is the Security Exchange Commissions, who regulates cryptocurrencies, who regulates stocks, who regulates what is security. So what are investments and everything, and what is not an investment, things like that. So what they have to say really matters, because if they regulate something and say it is a security, then this pretty much means that it has tax implications to it. So we're going to look at him and what he had to say on this interview on CNBC with Jim Cramer, and what he had to say about Bitcoin, because if you know me, you know that I talk about Bitcoin. I'm actually bullish on Bitcoin long term. I really love the technology of Bitcoin and everything. Although I am a gold bug, I have been accumulating more Bitcoin lately than gold. And so, you know, let's hear what he has to say, because we all want to know what is happening in the regulatory aspects of this space, because we've seen things such as Celsius shut down depositors from being able to withdraw any of their coins, any of their capital. We saw the whole Terra Luna fiasco where Terra Luna went under and everything. So the space needs some regulation. And so let's hear what he has to say about it.
You have been adamant that there should be some degree of coordination with the CFTC and you about trying to make it so that we have a more clarity, let's say, on cryptocurrency. Where's the state of play crypto right now?
Look, this is a highly speculative asset class. We've known this for a long time. The ups and downs.
All right, so just really quick. So the guy that came on first, that is Jim Cramer, right? Him right here, this Jim Cramer. That is a cool little freeze frame. I did catch him with the hunchback eye right there, but nobody follows what this guy says. So if you're very involved into the financial space, you will see that Jim Cramer is someone that no one likes to follow. Like, usually his calls are all wrong and everything, and so you just really don't want to follow his advice. He advised buying Netflix when it was still high, and Netflix went to plummet quite a bit. So do not follow mainstream investment advice. I just want to give you all that disclaimer, but let's listen to what Gary Gensler has to say.
Where's the state of play crypto right now?
Look, this is a highly speculative asset class. We've known this for a long time. The ups and downs of this speculative asset class, Bitcoin, and hundreds of other tokens. And many of these tokens offer the investing public, or the investing public is hoping for a return. Just like when they invest in other financial assets we call securities. And many of these financial assets, crypto financial assets, have the key attributes of a security. So some of them, they're under the Securities and Exchange Commission. Some, like Bitcoin, and that's the only one, Jim, I'm going to say, because I'm not going to talk about any one of these tokens, but
sure,
my predecessors and others have said they're a commodity. working together, there's two great market regulators in this country. I had the honor to chair the CFTC, a terrific agency. I have the honor now to chair the Securities and Exchange Commission. A little bit different remits, a little bit different approaches, but working together with the banking regulators as well. There's work to be done there around what's called stable coins. There's a lot of work to be done to really protect the investing public. And many of these tokens right now are trying to operate, they're potentially non-compliant. And I'll leave it at that, Jim.
Okay.
All right, so you all heard the man himself. This is actually a recent interview. I actually downloaded it. I mean, we could have watched it on YouTube and live, but I chose not to do that. That's why the little player looks a little different, but that's neither here nor there. But so he says that Bitcoin is a commodity. So, that's important that they classified it as that, because there's a lot of talk that Bitcoin is a store of value. It's not intended to be a speculative asset. It only has 21 million that will ever be in existence. So it's the store value with perfect scarcity, all those different things. That's why people call it a digital gold. Physical gold itself isn't a security. It's a commodity. And so he is identifying it as a commodity. And he said that all of his colleagues also I agree with him. So that's important when we're looking at regulation, because a lot of these other coins are going to be heavily regulated. And when they're heavily regulated, people are going to have to pay more taxes. And some coins, a lot of these coins will actually go under. And so you want to be aware of what you're investing in. So obviously Bitcoin has been the safest to invest in because there's no central authority that can control it. It's only controlled by the network of miners, which are, millions of miners across the world that people are, mining Bitcoin in, out of their homes and such. So you would have to turn off the internet in every place in the world, or the electricity in every place in the world, to stop the Bitcoin network. And then, also with the blockchain technology. So, Bitcoin is the safest cryptocurrency that you can invest in. Everything else, not everything else. He said there's a few more that they don't consider as securities, but a lot of them do identify as securities. And so that regulation is coming down the line. But we know for sure that Bitcoin isn't a security. They've come to a consensus on that. And so therefore it is one of the more safer plays to invest in, based off this space not being regulated yet. So there's a lot of talk about how we need regulation in this space, and many people were talking about, like, hey, at first you said you didn't want regulation. You wanted it to be, without a central bank. You didn't want someone, like FDIC, insuring crypto depositors or crypto investors or whatnot. And so, you can't have your cake and eat it too. So there has to be some form of regulation in this space, especially when you're talking about retirement portfolios coming into the space. You have big brokerages like Fidelity and many others that are, starting to accumulate Bitcoin for their clientele and such. So there has to be some regulation. And this is a heavy topic, especially coming with the digital central bank digital currencies and such. And so there has to be regulation. So leave your comment below. What do you think? What do you think about Bitcoin being a commodity and it being the safest crypto to invest in? Do you hold Bitcoin? Are you a believer in Bitcoin? I am a believer in Bitcoin. I have a lot of different reasons. This is one of them, it being a commodity. Another is it being able to give opportunity to people in third world countries to be able to send money without a middleman taking a high percentage of their the money that they're sending back to their families. So Bitcoin does offer that, and many other things. So what do you think about it? And leave that in the comment section below. Be sure to subscribe. Be sure to like this video. And I want to thank you all for joining me today. All right. Peace.